She had some real traction in the media. I mean, there
Yes,
were
because she kept promises. She kept her
promises.
promises about taxes and a lot of other things. But I have to say that Jim McGreevey made mincemeat out of her when he ran. I mean, he made mincemeat out of her. And if you talk to the average person today, I was at a barbecue a couple of summers ago, and we were talking. I don't know how we get into politics because I don't like to, that Christie Whitman, she stole money from the pension fund. She did this, she did that. I said to him, time out, you're talking about a friend of mine. I can't believe you. She's your, there's still people out there that think that she was not a good governor, that she didn't do many things. And not too long ago here at Eagleton, there was a round table, and she was here, and one of the gentlemen who served as treasurer explained the whole pension fund thing, and it's the first time I heard the explanation. That's what I mean about not being able to translate what they were doing into something that had to do with public relations. And she still wears that around her neck. Not that the rest of them paid it back. The only one paying it back was Chris Christie. Not that the other governors paid it back, but that she took it for the first place. And what I found out was that, the pension fund was funded 105% even after they took what they took.
That wasn't communicated, is what you're saying.
Oh,
and
not
the fact
at all.
that it wasn't is still
Absolutely.
bone of contention against her.
Absolutely.
Were you at the table for the pension bond issue? Because that's one of the policies that seems to haunt Governor Whitman.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was.
What was your opinion of that as that was coming together?
As we discussed, I'm an English major, so I remember feeling at the time that I didn't really have a good understanding of it, but I felt like there were people at the table with a great deal of expertise who do understand these things, who thought it was a good idea, and it may still be a good idea. I think that we failed in explaining it properly, and in hindsight, I wish that we had made sure that there were communications people at the table who had a really good understanding of the program, who could, and then we really spent time thinking about how we would communicate it. We communicated it as, it's like refinancing your house, and it really was nothing like that. Nothing, having now refinanced a house, as you know. And so, it's in my opinion, it was a reasonable thing to say, let's essentially prepay our pension obligation. I'm sure that there's a reason for this, but the idea in my mind that we consider pensions fully funded when they are funded to the level that would assume that everybody who's in the pension fund retires today is not feasible for taxpayers. And so it was aiming at that at that issue, I think, and but I think we didn't communicate it well.
Circling back to the pension bond issue,
Right.
What do you think should have been done to dispel that criticism, or maybe even should be done at this point?
Well, I think Governor Whitman has to probably get out there more and talk about it, and or write letters to the editor, or get her some of her friends. People knew how to do that when she was running for office. Get people to write letters and op-ed pieces that meet with the editorial boards, that kind of thing. But Governor Whitman doesn't seem to want to do that.